It's just gone 7:51. Welcome back. You're still watching the South African Morning. Now, the country is, of course, facing a primary school reading crisis. Only 3 in 10 learners are reading at grade level in their home language. In fact, in some languages, up to 25% of grade 3 learners cannot read a single word. But one company is teaming up with a fellow private sector player to make a difference. Mutual Assistance Society, AVBOB, together with Oxford University Press Southern Africa, are on a campaign to donate 2,000 trolley libraries to undeserved or underserved primary schools. Now, General Manager for Shared Value and Sustainability at AVBOB, Gebo Musweu, as well as Oxford Press Managing Director Karen Simpson, join us now live in studio to discuss this beautiful project a bit more. Good morning to the both of you. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm going to start with you, Gebo, obviously because a lot of people think AVBOB, they think funeral policy, death, etc. They never really correlate it or, link it to things like books, What made you decide, no, we want to make that difference?
Well, first of all, there's more to AVBOB than...
Yes, I can imagine, yeah.
Yes. AVBOB is a mutual, and at the core and at the heart of AVBOB, we exist to create value and share value with our members and our stakeholders. Now, our members don't live in isolation somewhere. They live within communities that we operate in. Yeah. And that, for us, is a way of us giving back and sharing value, not only with our members, but the broader society at large. And this campaign is building on, a bigger framework that we operate in terms of education. We are passionate about education. We recognize the fact that, the future of our nation and this country can only, most of the challenges really that exist out there can only be resolved and addressed through education and quality education for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Karen, for Oxford, obviously, we know literacy in South Africa has been a problem for many decades now, at least if we think about democracy, right? And it's been a thorn on the side of the education departments, both higher and basic education. How will this particular project or partnership assist with this gap?
Well, it's just really about getting access to books for as many learners as possible. Yeah. And I mean, we have 13 million learners in the country. It's a huge task for any department to get right, and the department has spent so much time researching what kinds of books are the best for teaching literacy, and at Oxford we're really passionate about making sure that exactly the right books are in those trolleys so that we can make the biggest difference. And that's what makes this partnership so special, because we're so closely aligned on what we want to do and the mission that we really set out to achieve here.
Yeah. How will it work, in terms of, if you could explain maybe to someone at home what you mean by trolley libraries? How do the learners or pupils gain access to such, a practical example of how it will work?
Okay, so maybe Karen can jump in as well. So we've got, the trolley libraries are equipped with 500 books inside, and with also other supporting educational resources. And it is designed to actually be able to be moved from one classroom to the next. That's how it has been designed. And to gain access to this, the campaign is anchored on one thing, which is about public participation. Yeah. We want the public to be part of the solution. You and I know that school that either we walk past every day, or we grew up, it is in our neighborhood, and it could be in a community anywhere. And it's about nomination. It's all about nominating to educate. Yeah. So that's the call to action. Nominate to educate. And there's an nomination platform, roadtoliteracy.co.za, that now anybody can go into and nominate their school or education NPO. Yeah. And this year we've introduced a WhatsApp line. Okay. Where we're making it even much more easier and accessible for everyone to actually be able to nominate their school or the deserving school.
So how do you decide which one would be deserving after these nominations?
We've got a panel of adjudicators, and we review each and every nomination that comes through.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want you to motivate. We want you to show that really, first of all, you are committed to literacy. You understand the need. And you are committed to improving the not only literacy skills, but also numeracy skills of our learners. So it's really about the motivation that you put forward, not just the one sentence here and there, you know what? Yes, because
I hear you.
Yes,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Karen, how are you going to, you look at kids of these days, and this is what they use to read books. Even their textbooks in some schools, well, maybe not the underserved areas, are put inside these tablets. How are you going to make it a cool thing to physically have a book? How are you going to make it appealing to these young people who feel like the screen is where it's all at?
Yeah. I mean, we do find that in classrooms, teachers and learners are more comfortable still with printed books, especially at the lower levels of education. But, it's really not about the delivery mechanism, it's about the content. So if we can put the right content in front of learners where they find it engaging and they can see themselves in the characters and they can see their own community in the stories and the context, that's what really gets children excited. And if we can get the language level right, so that they can read the text and understand it at their level, then that's what makes them keep coming back, and that's what we want. We want learners to practice.
Why is that important for the learners and the teachers to see themselves and their communities and their stories in these books?
I think if anyone who's read with a young child will see that they immediately become more engaged when they can see things that are familiar to them and things that are fun. I mean, I know that reading with my own children was one of the most beautiful parts of being a parent, and them seeing families like ours or children like them was where they really got engaged. I mean, it's sad, actually, that 30 years plus into democracy, we're still talking about this, because every child should have access to reading material that reflects their society. But I go into schools all the time where books are 20 or 30 years old, and that's why this initiative is so important, to get new books into schools.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Learners.
Thank you so much to the both of you. Sounds like a beautiful initiative. All the best to those of you who will be doing your nominations to try and nominate for the schools in your areas to be one of the beneficiaries of this. And thanks to Afbob Skibu as well as Karen Simpson from Oxford University Press. And that's